Meeting will come to order, please. Please join in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have Director Gain is joining us on Zoom this evening. Director Abb is absent. I have his proxy. Director Barron is off on Christmas duty already, and Director Hendren has his proxy. With that being said, we'll move to the approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the last regular board meeting, November 16th? Thank you, and that would be a second too. Did anybody find anything to be changed? All those in favor of approving?
Aye.
Jackie? Aye. That's 9-0. Next up, December 14th, the work session just passed last week. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes? Jan Hagan?
The minutes.
Second.
JB? Anybody find anything in those minutes? That's good. All those in favor?
Aye.
9. There are no joint advisory committee reports. Next up is a financial report. I'll ask Tom to do that.
We're going to give you a brief snapshot of the month of November. It's early in the month. Our meeting takes place early, and we have the holidays and everything. So revenue for the month of November was better than budget by $104,000, and for the year, better than budget by $1.8 million. For the water department, revenue was better than budget by $48,000, and for the year, better than budget by $126,000. And the consolidated, combining all that together, we had a good revenue month, better than budget by $152,000, and for the entire year, better than budget by $2 million. So we're really having a really nice year. This is just for the month of November. You see that water sales, we just covered that, did very well compared to budget. F&B, another great month. Golf, another great month. I was told by Daryl that we've already crossed over the 200,000 round mark for the year. We might actually end around 203,000, something to that nature. So that's pretty impressive. All the way down to membership transfer fee is the only negative on there by $5,000. So all around, from a revenue point of view, this isn't looking at labor or expenses or anything like that. It's too early to look at that. But from a revenue perspective, overall good month. And then the financial statements for November will be posted on the website once completed. Keep in mind we have the upcoming holidays, so the delay, this will delay the release of the statements. Just be aware of that, a little bit of patience, but it looks like we're going to have another good month. Any questions?
Thank you, Tom. Like a good, strong finish for the year. Next up would be the open forum. Next up would be the open forum, and we have nobody signed up to speak. We had quite a number last week at the work session, and want to assure those people that we are continuing to investigate the comments from those people and trying to do our due diligence. So that being said, we'll move on to the items that we have up for a board vote. The first is articles of incorporation. I could explain it, but I think I'll let Tom go ahead and just say what's being considered here.
So, because we're going to, David, could you turn that off? We're getting reverb. So the Rules and Regulations Committee has been working on this for several months. So If the board doesn't have a lot of dialogue about this, if you're at home and wonder why the board doesn't have a lot of dialogue, it's because they've been dealing with this for several months. So we encourage you to take a look at some of the previous videos from previous meetings on that. What we've done with the Articles of Incorporation, and we're also doing the same route with regards to the declaration, is these are two documents that are near impossible to change. So while with the bylaws and the policies we've been going through and modifying those to make them easier to understand, easier to read, and so forth, you can't do that with the Articles of Incorporation and the declaration because you can't change them without a significant vote of the membership. So with the approach that we've taken is to use a comments approach where we'll have a paragraph which was written in 1965 by lawyers, and it's at times challenging to read, and we have a comment section below that in plain English that says this is what that means. And I think it's a really good approach that we've taken. What we're doing is working on the Articles of Incorporation, and the board would vote 2 times. You can make an argument that the board doesn't need to vote twice because it's actually not a change to the Articles of Incorporation, but throughout, when you change the policies, when you change the bylaws, it does require 2 votes. So it makes sense, let's just continue the same, have 2 votes and so forth. The changes to the Articles of Incorporation are available on our website if you would like to view that in more detail. Any questions? So this would be the first of 2 required votes. We would take the next vote at next month's regular meeting.
Okay, the first step would be to ask for the motion to add those notes.
I make a motion that we add the notes to the Articles of Incorporation.
Thank you, JB. A second on that?
I'll second.
Jason? Okay, now, was there any discussion? As Tom said, we've talked about it quite a bit, and Rules and Regulations Committee spent quite a bit of time on it.
And I think probably Doug and Tom have it memorized by now. They know exactly what it says.
Yeah.
So they worked hard.
Articles are a little bit easier. They're not
Yeah.
quite as extensive as the declaration.
Right, but still, I want to thank you again for all the hard work to unlawyer it.
Yeah.
And what we've done also is, Doug and I have been here for many, many years, and we received a lot of emails over the years, and so we kept kind of those comments in mind when we were filling out the notes, and here are common questions that we receive. Let's address it in the declaration, so going forward we can actually cite the declaration and feel comfortable that the member will be able to read it and understand it.
Okay. Doesn't look like anybody wants to add anything, so let's just go ahead with the vote. All those in favor of the changes?
Aye.
Jackie says aye. That's 9. The next item on the agenda is just the reporting that there will be a statement of cash flow added to the monthly reports. It's a little different. You want to go ahead and explain that?
Yeah, so we always encourage our members to go onto the POA's website, onto the financials and reports section. We have a huge amount of information available. We take a very transparent approach. But one thing that we noticed is on our P&L, we had simple cash flow. So our P&L is GAAP compliant, generally accepted accounting principles. But the simple cash flow that we put in there, it's not GAAP compliant. So, but having that information on the same document implies that it's GAAP compliant. We have a GAAP compliant balance sheet, GAAP compliant income statement, and then we have the simple cash flow, which is not GAAP compliant. So what we're going to do is going forward on a monthly basis, we're going to prepare a statement of cash flows, which is GAAP compliant and gives you all the ins and outs. Now, in our audited financials, we've always done a statement of cash flows because you have to do that for the year end. But we're now going to step it up and do it on a monthly basis. So come the first of the year, we're going to start presenting that and having that available for our membership on our website. We just think it's going to be a better presentation of the facts. No vote of the membership of the board is required. We just are informing the membership that we're adding a new report.
It will be a little bit different. So, okay, was there anything else that anybody needed to bring to our attention? Okay, with that, we will go on to the announcements. The January Recreation JAC meeting will be on the 8th at 4 p.m. here in the boardroom. There is a board candidate informational meeting on Tuesday the 9th at 4 p.m. here in the boardroom. I would encourage any person who is thinking about running for the board to attend. A lot of questions will be answered, and maybe you can ask some questions that we haven't had before, but it's good information. The Lakes JAC meeting will be Wednesday the 10th at 2 p.m. And there will be a Rules and Regulations meeting Thursday, January 11th at 1:30 p.m. The GM meeting will be following the Rules and Regs meeting. That will be at 2:30. That is a closed meeting. The work session, Thursday the 18th at 9 a.m. here in the boardroom, followed by the January regular session on the 25th, Thursday at 6 p.m. here in the boardroom and live stream. There is no golf JAC meeting in January. I don't know, maybe they're all out of town golfing or something, but no meeting in January. So that is the extent of the information that we have. Was there anything else? Then we will stand adjourned.